To reiterate, there is no other version of me. I didn't work with anyone. It's all my work. Substance and outwardness, fashion, design, all of it. I don't know what you people are confused about. I didn't work with anyone. I don't even know who those people are. And they just surveilled me in real time, I guess, and uploaded things as themselves or whatnot, or just get out my words or made them their own, I guess. But it came from me, not their defamatory shit, but their everything that people have been posting as them. I don't know any other artists that has to deal with the stress of people having access to their phone, research, pictures, videos, work, especially digital or conceptual, personal thoughts and notes, and the stress of like having people trying to upload it as someone else, as them, as though they made it before me. Like, it's stealing my identity and my work as an artist. I don't appreciate it. I didn't give any consent to have anyone on my phone or access to my personal phone or property, as I've said a million times. Wasn't even shown a warrant or asked. I had to figure that out to some degree, what was going on. And yeah, I don't have another version of me. It's not sci-fi movie. I said what my art practice is about. It's always been like that, and it's evolved. And started in New York. I wasn't even inspired by anyone else. Like, these are my interests. I've been throughout, and I don't know those people, so I don't even know where to find their things online that they've claimed as theirs or whatnot. But the value of ideas, that was the point, like to value someone's ideas is what a creative director does. Knowing the difference between a good idea and a bad idea to carry through a collection or whatnot. Sound decisions, perceptual learning, all of it is combined. So, and so far an idea can reach, and in some commercial settings, how, much profit it can bring in through just the trends that, knowing that and knowing where you stand, all these things that I've been saying from the start, and I don't know who those people are, so I couldn't have been copying them anyways. I spoke from my own experiences. That was the point, ours experience, so that no one could say that they could have come up to the same conclusions as me, because, well, I drew from my own experiences and my own documentation of that. And my intersection words agree. It's my facts, what I lived. I don't have another story or another narrative, even though they tried to switch my identity with Miriam Farish. Is from Texas. We had senior design together. Miriam R. Farish or Leah, I think. I don't know who the hell those people really are anymore at all. Never met Leah. She admits in black and white in an email to my mother. I don't work with anyone else. That's the essence of like an independent art practice. And what artists do, they have something to express, point of view, perspective, singular in nature. It's coming from one single source, and all that goes into that concept or narrative or whatever it is, even though these things shouldn't be conflated with the facts that I'm drawing from and my own experiences, memories, and knowledge, and studies, and acquired knowledge, and research, foresight, intuitive ability, feelings, past history, knowledge, fashion design, costume history, all of it that I studied in school. Forecasting I studied in Paris. I mean, honestly, just it's an accumulation of everything I've pretty much picked up on or studied or lived and experienced, and I'm interested in, and experimenting on that and exploring that in different ways, and throughout having to do with timing, and that from the start being, having to try to gauge when I was putting something out there versus someone else, because it's very much in step with current trends and campaigns and whatnot, and things were echoed from my art practice when established, and the parameters, it just seemed very suspicious. I was having to gauge all these things, and then, as I've said, things happen in and out of time of some sense that we live in linear sense. And so, yeah, it wasn't always as clear cut as that. It was always this, it wasn't always about gauging. It's always been about exploring the nature of time. Physics plays into that, expression plays into that, evolution. What pushes us forward as an individual, as society, as part of society. I've been screaming a lot of people, so my voice is pretty hoarse. But, anyways, yeah, so I don't know why there seems to be, like, I almost feel sorry for these people. They're just like some continuous loop of confusion about what is at least factual. Like, I lived my life, I am still living it. I drew from my own experiences, and I lived those, even if people were watching them in some way, shape, or form. Like, I lived those. And so I spoke from my own experiences. I think anyone can only hope to do or expect from anyone else. So put that into my foundational art practice that established years ago, built upon repeating patterns, themes, played into concepts and even like metaphysical ideas and sort of out there ideas that more or less even have some validity to them after a while, tracking these types of documenting them to some degree, occurrences that take place in my life. So even if you're viewing it, it's not claimed by anyone else, because even if someone else is viewing it, it's not, can't be claimed by them. Because I lived it and I'm drawing from it. It's my individual perspective, and that's what trumps and matters most here, as that's what began and perpetuates it forward and is what it's about. Everything else is external and secondary, is mere more or less what I'm talking about. And Step With Me is just very much living my life and attuned to what I'm attracted to and what inspires me and what stands out to me and what I experience and how that overlaps with things I notice around me and what I want to further explore in life and art and design, and what gets me going in the morning as far as inspiration and the course for the day, especially when I'm disciplining myself in a structured time limit. But in any case, it's just very upsetting and very inappropriate that anyone else would be trying to actually commit identity fraud. Copyright is enough of a problematic to deal with, but like actually trying to post as me or under my name, which I'm sure can be traced back to certain IP addresses. And if we have to test DNA or something, why not? I'm just very sick of this and the stress of that. I don't like being under, it's not about anyone else's pressure or timeline, it's about mine. And if someone else wanted from me, they needed to make that both comprehensible and spoken, expressed to me directly, and offer something in exchange. Like, I'm not trying to like just, this is not a gift. This is not like, these are my personal thoughts and they're not for free for anyone else to take from. I don't know why anyone else has given access to my phone other than me. I'm Caitlin Carlisle Gorney. This is my phone. It's my phone number I've had since 7th grade, 773-203-8849. I don't appreciate people taking things out of context or manipulating them. It's my real life and conceptual art practice that Valley of Ideas was meant to get a creative design position or somewhere there and show for concept in and of itself that I initiated and through all these different ways, through data, through tracking, through expression of my own, showing my own projects in the order that was successful in and what led to the next success and Ripple Time. And how those established evidence-based trends or highlighting them, calling them out as Harry Smith-Evan does, seem to be a statement in some way, shape, or form that's identifying one thing or another, a place in time or a trend, and carrying that forward, and how much like concept or idea becomes concept, becomes a trend, some way, shape, form. I'm just going in circles now, ironically. But yeah, and how that takes place in culture, and what successful people don't even know where it really started, I guess. Meaning that it's taken on so many different types of creative expression, forms of media, popping up in different subculture groups or whatnot. I just spoken on the news. I mean, how much do you notice the word taking precedence in popular culture? Like, just, you know, slang, new slang. It's always been about, translations, having to translate, or not having to, but wanting to translate my own meanings to tarot cards, and my timing, shuffling them onto the TV, and what cards would pop out, noting those new meanings or finding them with my own little mind. That's think a lot, wordplay, Mercury, Sagittarius, Leo, wordplay, spoken word, and language itself at the cross, and just very annoying that someone would think they could be so arrogant as to change my language and meaning that would affect how seriously people take a statement or boundary of mine that they then thought they could violate, how much you put my life in danger, reckless endangerment, when people don't take a stop raping me seriously. Like, oh, it's an act. You don't get to speak for me. That's goddamn, first of all, they don't get to speak for me. So I'm a human being, and this is my goddamn life. I know they try to override that, or to make me into a human slave that they could profit off of within my own home. But that's not happening. And this has been and is my art practice, conceptual, and I've never been a sex worker, and I don't appreciate being exploited, especially in my own home. Obviously. Nor did I know of it. Nor was I ever asked or given a warrant for any entry into my home or property here, family home. And if they're fucking up my language, words, insulting in itself, then that could put me in danger when I say stop and they don't take that seriously. I speak straightforward just like everyone else, without a mirror, without an act. Nobody on an act for statistical fucks to excuse themselves out of crimes committed against me in order to keep me enslaved in my own life. My own career that I began, they distorted and parroted. Surveilled me in real time in order to imposter. I'm the only one of me. I'm Caitlin Carlisle Corny. And their need to bring me down to some other level other than who I am at my best, I guess, is just a really big insult and obviously defamation crime. And I've never okayed that. People impostering me and forging my signature was a crime in and of itself is obviously, they got away with that. Seeing that I'd ever be on board with something like that or not making amends for anyone's, or they took things completely out of context, and that have given people that access and freedom within someone else's boundaries pre-established is obviously not okay. Because you tried to overtake my entire career and keep me trapped in some situation that does not facilitate what I was already doing, what I need to do, what I need for life, my resources, time, funding, all of it. Say, personal say, privacy. None of it's okay. It's inhuman. It's inhumane to have done. To have called me inhuman or a machine. That puts my life in danger. Like, what the fuck? This has been, and I only worked alone on my